Hello all and welcome back to my channel, Drunk Crafts with Paige. I am Paige. This week I have just another cider, but I've got new hair. Our channel's gonna have a new name. If you missed that announcement last week, you can check the description box below for some fun info. And I am excited about this week's craft. We've got some new materials we're gonna be playing with, but also touching on some crafts we've done in the past. We did this gorgeous embroidery piece for my house. It is obviously Harry Potter themed, but we also used an oval embroidery hoop and some watercolors. And I wanted to play around with those similar things, but using this crafter's fabric, as well as this beautiful blue frame. I have never done an embroidery piece in a picture frame. We have obviously framed some like this in the actual embroidery hoops, but what if you want to keep the hoop and use it to make more embroidery? Well, you can very easily put it in a cute picture frame like this. And it's cheap. Both of these things came from Dollar Tree. So if you're interested in what watercolor embroidery piece we are making this week, please continue watching. Now the first steps I did for this piece was print out my pattern on this delightful backing paper that I can just peel off and stick right to the fabric. It's amazing, and it's supposed to wash off in warm water when I'm done. Now as I'm starting at the head of this piece, I'm going to use 3 strands of the embroidery thread, and then for some of the other hairs I'll decrease to 2, and for some of the finer details I'll go all the way down to 1. And I'm going to use a combination of 3, 2, and 1 different embroidery strings to embroider this piece and to kind of work my way down into the hair, and it's going to transition into blue. So as I transition into blue, I will slowly start adding more and more blue thread. So I'll have 2 brown, 1 blue, and move to 2 blue, 1 brown, and then finally we'll just get all the way into some solid blue colors to detail out the water. Now I am going to very gently attempt to pull off the remaining backing, stick-on backing that the pattern is on. If any of it remains, that's okay, because this stuff dissolves in water. So just very gently, and I do still have it on my hoop to keep it more taut. All right, so a lot of the middle is still there, but like I said, that can all be dissolved with water. Oh my goodness, you guys, that worked so well. All I did was run it under hot water and all the paper dissolved. I threw it in the dryer for just a little bit and it's great. It's perfect. None of that paper is there anymore. So it is time to get watercoloring. I did put it back in the hoop for this, just so once again it is nice and flat and stretched taut. I did draw on, you may not be able to see it very well, but there's a very faint pencil border, so I can see how big the 4x6 picture frame is. So I want to make sure, especially down here near the bottom, that I'm coloring the whole thing where it's water. And yeah, we're just gonna get to watercoloring. Now the watercolor is done, and my last few steps are going to be cutting out this piece. I made it roughly 1/2 inch on both sides bigger than the 4x6. I've got the glass right here so I can set it down, make sure my picture is gonna fit in there. And as you can see from my traced outline, I have some extra cloth that I'm gonna use to wrap around the edge. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut out this piece, wrap it around the glass, and basically put it into the frame like a regular old picture and get our piece all displayed. Our piece is in the frame, it's all dried. I got it in here. I will kind of show you guys what's going on behind the frame, but here is our embroidery piece. I wrapped the fabric around the glass, like I said, tried to tape it on there, didn't really want to work, but it stuck long enough for me to put the frame backing down. And then you have our adorable piece. Now, one thing I will say about the crafting fabric is it absorbed a lot more of the water than the embroidery fabric did. So it did bleed a bit more around the edges. I do enjoy the messy watercolor look. This might be a bit much, but I love this. And the fact that we removed the glass means that you can appreciate the texture of the embroidery and the watercolor. I think this turned out so well with the combinations of going from brown to blue down to the dark blue. This is so cool for it being my first framed piece of work, and you can very easily just stand it upright, or obviously you could hang it. So here are some clips of this piece out in the natural light. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. I hope you all enjoyed the craft. I think I have a water-loving friend who's going to really appreciate this piece. If you did enjoy it, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I post crafting videos most Fridays. And as well as my announcement, I have links for my social media in the description box below. I'll see you guys all for the next one. Cheers.